Let me see if that came up on... Oh, there we go. Came up on YouTube. Okay, so that's good. I usually do Twitch. I don't expect anyone to actually watch this. I'm more doing this for myself as a stream test, and I need to do some 3D modeling, so I want to get back into the groove of things, basically. Okay, so I'm going to put chat over here, and then let me see if I can have... Oh, there we go. Sweet. Let me just do a quick share. Yep. Cool. Alright, here we go. So my name's Ilya, Ilya Winter, and this is Creative Indifferences. It's my YouTube channel. I do a bunch of different stuff on here. I do some drone stuff, and then I try to do some 3D modeling here and there, and I'm going to try to do that a little bit more often now. I'm trying to catch pretty much, like, you know, not every time, but for the most part, every time I make something new, something kind of cool, I'm going to try to, like, you know, stream it so you guys can kind of have a... you guys can see how I do things in my, like, stream of consciousness when I model something. And then also want to be playing some more video games again. I think the next thing we're going to play is Bendy, which is kind of like a survival-ish horror game, and it's going to be quite exciting. I'm going to play with Artemis, I believe. I don't know if we're going to stream it or we might just record it, but so that's something to look forward to for sure. I'm just generally trying to get more content out on my YouTube channel. So yeah, so here we go. So we're doing this guy. His name is, I actually have to check the stream name to see what his name is. Deidoro Sakaki. Yeah, he's one of the new baddies that's going to come up. I think he's in a manga right now, but he's going to come up in the show pretty soon. So I like his mask. I like the shape of it. I would like to make a couple of these Plague Doctor masks, but for the most part, I think they would look better being done out of like a leather or, you know, something like that, where it's, you know, it'd be possible to 3D print it, but I'm not, I mean, you know, it's a lot of times it's what the project calls for, and as much as I love 3D printing, I do believe in kind of, you know, function just as much, and having something that's kind of like a beak that's hard while possible. Like, so like this one might, you know, make a little bit more sense to 3D print because it's like a full face type deal, whereas here, you know, looks like it has rivets in it, and like this guy's has like rivets, and, you know, I mean, this is just straight up just like a burlap sack. But you know, I mean, you know, this would be possible, but for the most part, you know, I feel like making that out of like foam, like EVA foam or something, might just be a little bit better. So I'm just gonna, I decided to do this guy. I don't even, to be honest, I mean, I'm not even sure if he's a popular character or anything. I think he's one of the 8 henchmen, and I think he shows up kind of like once or twice in the manga. But I mean, his special ability, or his like unique thing, is that he's drunk all the time. I mean, I think there's I did a little bit of research. There's a Saki in his name, I think, even though it says Sakaki, I think it's like a derivative. So I don't know, maybe, especially if, you know, I've seen people do the whole hero lineup for My Hero Academia, and then, you know, once these guys come out, maybe if they start doing, you know, the whole henchman lineup, then it's possible that somebody might want something like this. But I haven't seen it on Etsy, and I haven't found really any models of it online, and this looks like a pretty unique design, so I'm going to give it a shot. So yeah, so basically what I've done here is I put a background canvas right here, and over here let's see, yeah, I basically squared out kind of, or made a rectangle of what an average face, or by average I mean I measured myself, just kind of like the size of it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start. Let's see, I'm in the sculpt interface right here. I'm gonna put in a quad ball over here. And just put a nice little quad ball. Kind of get it close to what, you know, the final shape will be. Actually, you know, I might even go a little bit over, since I'm going to be doing a pull method. But I can always kind of, you know, increase or decrease that. So for now, I'm just going to do, it like that. And then we're going to add some symmetry. I'm going to add some internal symmetry. Yep, there we go. I'm going to add another one over here, just so that we kind of, when we modify it, it stays symmetrical along these green lines. And then we're just going to start moving it, I guess, making it kind of close to where we want it to be. So I'm just kind of create a general shape. Also, I'm not going to be like thickening this or cutting it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, I think I'm going to draw the shape, and then I'm going to take a plane and pull it onto it. Because as opposed to you know, creating these toruses and then combining them, I think since you know, in this image it looks like they're just you know, just growing out of it. That's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna create kind of like an underlying shape, and then I'm going to stretch something over it, stretch like a plane over it. So I don't even really need to make this kind of exact right now at all. Or not exact, but like the size. And the reason why I'm making it bigger is because when you stretch it, I don't want the plane to stretch, to pull over the edges, because that's something that happens. So I just have the rectangle kind of as a guideline for myself, to see what I want to do. Okay, so let's see if we can create a torus. Same thing, kind of along this plane, to make the eyes. I'm gonna actually get rid of that for now. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. I'm gonna make it a little bit thicker. So I'm gonna put this back. You know what? I'm just gonna make a plane, just so you can see it. I'm gonna make the torus on that plane. So I don't want to make it too big. Since I'm kind of just eyeballing this, yeah, okay. It looks like it has a sharper edge on the inside than this. Yeah. So, I want to see how we could do that. Maybe we'll just edit this form and pull out this entire. Yeah, ooh, that's looking better already. And again, I only need the front side of this, so if this extends out the back, I'm not really too concerned. Let's see here. It looks like the internal hole's a little bit bigger. So let me see what happens when I do this. Ooh, no, not that. You know what, actually, I'm just going to start over. I need to make it a little bit thinner. say 3 people or 2 other people besides my laptop here are watching. That was kind of unexpected, but hi. Again, I'm just kind of doing this for myself as a stream test, and and now one person's gone. Okay, there you go. Just doing this as a stream test for myself to see how I like YouTube. Even though I have way more, I have like 52, I think, Twitch subscribers. But yeah, so we're gonna make a happy little torus here. It looks like it's bigger than I had originally made it. So let's do that. Let's make it a little bigger. And I guess that's the size. It looks like they're pointing out too, so that's going to be something to make, to remember once I actually finalize it. There you go. So that's a little bit thinner. I like the way that looks. And then I can, if I really wanted to, I could just, do something like that. Because it looks like it's got a sharp edge on the inner, portion of it. And the outer one is kind of, the outer one is a little bit thicker, so I don't want it too small, because right now I think I'm just making it a little too small even. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to position it. So I'm going to take the whole thing and I'm going to move it, right? So it's kind of pointing outwards. And then now these are pretty large eye holes, so I'm not too concerned about whether or not you're going to be able to see through them, but that's also something that I usually keep in mind is like eye positioning. That's kind of why I drew this outermost square, or rectangle rather, as an outline, kind of like a guideline for myself, just to see where the corner, just the general size of a face, mainly my face. This guy looks like his eyes are just pointing in opposite directions. It's pretty cool looking. Okay. It's very kind of uncanny looking, but that's okay. It's this guy that I'm following, by the way, in case it's not immediately obvious. Okay, so let me see what that looks like. So I'm going to try to do a duplicate symmetry, right? And then mirror plane, cross the origin here. So do something like that. And then I believe, that looks like it needs to be taken out a little bit. Yeah, see, so that moves them both. And if I hit edit form, cool. Okay. So now, so here comes the tricky part, right? So I kind of have this basic shape. I know what I want to be doing with it for the most part, which is try to get it to look like this. I might actually even move it a little bit closer because it looks like the eyes aren't, are as far apart here as they are here. But I'm not sure if this distance is going to be too conducive to seeing straight on. So one thing I guess I could do is try to actually, you know what? It might be okay. Nah, I don't want to do that. Also, yeah, I might want to do this, is kind of just bring it closer a little bit and angle it just a tiny bit so that it still has the, you know, the look of facing in that direction, just not as drastically. There we go. I definitely don't want them to be too close. This is one of those things that you're only really going to know how well you could see out of it until you put it on. But I'm not too worried with these like large holes, and it might be a little bit awkward to kind of look left and right. But yeah, so okay. So let's do duplicate mirror, mirror plane. Let's select this one again. There we go. Now we have something that kind of looks like what we want. I'm actually going to bring these out a little bit, just like I did before. Okay. And now, so we're going to create a plane, right? No, let's create an offset plane first. Yep. Okay. So we're going to create a plane right on here. Just do it from the center. So this is kind of why I wanted to make it a little bit better, because already I can tell that. Ooh, you know what? Actually, no. We're gonna bring this in a little bit. Yeah, because see, this is going outside of my rectangle here. Make it a little smaller. Yep, and then bring it out a little bit. There we go. Now I want to do the symmetry. Duplicate it along this plane. There we go. Yep. Okay, great. So that looks like it's a little bit more inbounds. Now I want to create that offset plane to somewhere around here. Right, now create a plane on here. And yeah, there we go. So now this is definitely going to come down a lot. Oops. There we go. But that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that. I do, however, want to add considerably more faces. Let's see if 6 is enough. Something like that. So that when I bring it around, it will... yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's just see what this looks like. Okay, now... Hold on a second. Let's just do this first. Let's take these bodies. Alright, let's combine them. Let's join that. And now, yeah, you know what? That's what we're going to do. Oops. No, we're going to go back here. And then just delete this. Fish form. Alright, so now we have this just as one body. And now we're going to create a new one on top of it. That's what we're going to do. Because Fusion likes that better. Okay. Modify. Plane. Okay, so let me see what happens when I want to get rid of some of these outlying edges for sure. Okay, before I start getting all crazy with this modification, I kind of do want to just pull it and see what it looks like. But the reason I'm doing this is because I don't want it to go over the edge and kind of wrap over the sides of it. So I'm just kind of giving it a little, just squeezing it in a little bit. Plus if you look at it, he does have a little chin on the mask here, so just trying to get like a rough shape. Okay, and then also, yeah, I do notice that he does have a cutout there. But this is going to look very different once we pull it onto the little, I guess we can call it a buck, a little digital buck there. Okay, so we're doing that. Now, let's see. Ooh, that is not what we want at all. Okay, cool. Good to know. Let's try some control points. Still not what we want. Okay. Wonder what happened here. Maybe we didn't have enough. See what happens when I do this. Actually, maybe we do want it to go over. Well, I mean, I might just do it the other way then. Wait, hold on a second. You know what? Let's do this. Let's create one with like considerably more lines. I don't use this method too often, as you can tell. I usually just make it the old-fashioned way, just like you see before. But I figured I'd give it a shot. It's interesting enough to. Let's try something crazy. Let's try something like, I don't know, 50. Yeah, let's do 70. Oh, 50. Great. Okay, cool. So I know I can impact performance here. Yes, thank you, Fusion 360. But hopefully my compy is up to the task. Okay, so let's see how this works. This should be interesting. Oh, oops. Let's move it here. Okay, let us pull. And now we wait. As it goes through every single individual point. Oh, hello. eye. Well, that's kind of closer. Well, that looks cool. Definitely gonna take a screenshot of that. And then do it the old-fashioned way. Oh, man. Okay, sure. Alright, so, in that case... Alright, well, we'll just shape it like this then. I thought that might be an exciting way to do things, but I really don't have the patience to sit down and work out why that was happening, but let's see, let's choose some faces. Oh, nope, let's get rid of this symmetry now that we don't need it. Okay, and no, let's still keep this one here. No, I kind of wish I started with more more faces, so it'd be a lot easier to modify. So that's the other thing, got to make sure that there's room for a nose, because a human will be wearing this. So I definitely want to make sure that there's kind of a space. Also, I imagine there will be foam on these parts. At least when I make something like a mask that you're going to be wearing all day, I try to make it as comfortable as possible. It just makes sense. See what that looks like in comparison. That's pretty good. It's got that slight curve over here. I guess I just want to bring this in a little bit more. But here is where we can subdivide. Oops. A little bit. Yeah, maybe we can do more of that. Oh, hey, chill out. There we go, and then we can let's pull this back a little bit. There we go. Okay, so it looks like this is a little bit. Hello. Okay. Oh, kitty's coming to say hi. Okay. Part of the reason why I wanted to make this with like a pull and then thicken method is because is so that I wouldn't have to worry about the actual thickness of it. But that doesn't bother me too much. I'm just going to yep, always forget to turn my phone down. Well, that's brilliant. That guy's like my default message ringtone. We shouldn't have just made it that close, I guess, right off the bat. So this is cool, but it looks like it has too much of a fold here almost, or like a curve, which isn't necessarily what I want. Let's see. I mean, I feel like it looks pretty close. We're getting there. We're getting there. We have to make this, I think, a little bit more of a point. And I think have it stick out a little bit more too. This is going to be a good also experience for me. I've always wanted to make to print a mask kind of on a tilt with supports all in behind it, as opposed to like laying flat or standing up or something along those lines. So this is going to be a great opportunity for me to figure out how that works. Let's see. I feel like this piece right here is just kind of almost like a rounded, flat kind of situation, so I don't want it to be too curved. Ooh, that looks better. That looks better. Yep. There definitely is a curve, but it just starts, I think, lower. Something like that. And then this needs to be pulled way back, I feel like, because this almost comes out of the bottom here. So let's see what we can do in terms of pulling that back. Ooh, oh, looks like we have a little crease there. I don't want that. Let's use this instead. Okay. Ooh, there we go. Let's shorten this line up a little bit. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, nope, gonna use the vertex again. Yep, let's use both of these. Ooh, that looks cool. Although it is folding over on here, and we do not want that, because once we jump out of the sculpt environment, then Fusion's going to be like, whoa, non-manifold, buddy, don't, what are you trying to do here? That's not okay. And you're going to be like, but hey, I can do that in Blender, that's totally fine. But Fusion 360 is going to get offended, and then not crash, because it's pretty stable, but, you know, it'll get offended, and then it won't let you make a Boolean operation sometime in the future. I don't know. Or a circular pattern that seems like it should work won't later on. Okay, let's see. I don't want this to be too thin. Let's see. How can I achieve that? Maybe like that. Okay, we're getting sort of a curve there. Again, there we go. This is the problematic area. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Sometimes I like to switch to view space so that I can kind of choose what angle I'm moving things at. It helps me get a better feel for what I'm doing to the model. A more direct approach, I guess, is a good way of putting it. Okay, how does this look different? I feel like there's not enough material at the bottom here. At an angle, I would say it needs to stick out a little bit more and be more round looking. So let's do that. This is one of those things that you just kind of have to play around with until it feels right. Especially with something that, you know, only has, I mean, this is like one of 3 pictures that I could find online for this character, so it's really, you know, it's really kind of like up to interpretation in terms of, you know, what it looks like from all angles and stuff like that, but I try to at least use, you know, the spirit of the character as a kind of guideline. This guy looks like a. I mean, this guy is apparently his. Like I said, his special, not a special move, but his unique thing, I guess, is that he's drunk all the time, and he's very kind of like sloppy. I don't know if it translates to drunken master style antics, but I would imagine that's something along those lines. So I don't think you'd be too concerned about me, having his mask be a little bit off, but I don't know. Maybe it's very kind of maybe it's been passed down from generation to generation in drunken. Okay, I'm just talking out of my ass. I have no idea what this character is about. I'm just gonna quit while I'm ahead. Okay, I just wanted to make that bottom a little bit thicker. Let's see here. Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, this is pretty close, I feel like, to what we want to accomplish. Yeah, I like that. Oh, man. There we go. So, let me see what it looks like. It's nice and round. It's got that... the chin isn't as pointed as I would like, actually. Let's see if we can... I almost feel like it looks better, though, not as pointed. And also, I feel like it might look pointed just because it's from this angle here, in which case we don't want to point it all the way. It would be nice to get it from another angle, but I mean, this is pretty dang good, I would have to say. Okay, so let's see what this behaves like. I'll see if it's manifold. Let's see if it's... Oh, yeah. Oh, man. That's pretty good, I would say. It's got a little bit of a forehead bump here. But I don't know if that really bothers me. It's got a little bit of a bulge under the eyes. I think that definitely can be changed for the better. Maybe shrink that a little bit, or maybe straighten it out or something like that, because I don't think he has as much of a bulge under the eye, and now I'm creating kind of like a dimple here that I want to get rid of as well. Okay. I kind of want to get rid of this area right here. See if we can keep this stream under an hour. I mean, I don't mind going over, but I feel like it gets a little bit laborious to to watch something this long. Not that I mean, whatever. I'm putting up on YouTube, so we'll see. I don't even want to fiddle that much with it. I feel like it looks pretty good. But I'm going to see if I can maybe... maybe do something like that. Oh, there we go, see? Yeah, So, okay, so that's where it's starting to be problematic then. You know what? Yep, that's that first move that we did. Ha! Ooh. Ooh, that looks good. I feel like maybe I should make the eyes bigger. Interesting. That might be something worth doing. I feel like they're more pointed down a little bit too. See what that looks like. Yeah, I like it a little bit bigger. I feel like they're a little bit bigger in that image. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Not sure if it's pointed as far down as I made it, because it looks like in that image it's kind of, they're pointed up, but they also look like they're slightly pointed in different directions, but I think that just might be a character trait, kind of. He looks a little bit like... Okay, let's see. Let's start wrapping this up, I guess. Let's just make sure that the thickness is pretty good overall. Let's see here. Let's finish that. Let us... So it's combined because we went back on the timeline. Ooh, that looks... I like that. I like the way that looks. The chin might be a little bit too pointed, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just, maybe I'm overthinking it. Okay, so here we go. Let's try to do a split body. Splitting tool is this kind of. Let's see what that does. This might not actually work. Yeah, that's what I figured. It didn't go all the way out. But it also might be possible to just do this, which is what I was hoping for, and that is the case, luckily. It doesn't change the model very much at all. So, let's maybe try to do a split body along this here. And if that works, which it won't, that's okay. So this is what we're going to do in that case. We are going to, let's see, construct a plane. Let's see what we can use to our advantage here, without just drawing them out. Can we do this? No. Can we do this? Ooh, do we have a third point? Do we have a third point, ladies and gentlemen? We don't even have a second point. Okay, great. Okay, we're gonna have to draw them out, I feel like. Okay, no biggie. Let's see. Just a tiny little bit of a roadblock, but it's not that big of a deal. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to do it here. Then I'm going to sketch a line on this here plane. And it's going to be a line that's kind of right here. Yep. I really didn't need it to project all of that stuff. I think it's like a setting that I have on. But that's okay. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. So we're going to create a sketch mirror just for fun here. Actually, you know what? Might not even have to do that. We might not have to do this a second time because we could just mirror the object that we used to make the Boolean cut. So we're going to do plane angle. Ooh, let's see, I can't see this, can I? I can't, oh, that's why, right, stop sketch. Construct a plane at angle. Why can't I see this? This is bothering me. Body one. Construct a plane at angle. Why can't I see this plane? What is going on? You know what? I'm going to do this even another way. Let's just create a cylinder. Let's just create a dang cylinder and try to match it out. Let's just do new body. I very rarely do this, but I just don't feel like trying to create, you know, a kind of a new plane and just something all, you know, or maybe, you know what, maybe I could just draw on this cylinder the line that I want to use. Maybe that's what I'll do. Oh, that's such a silly way of doing things. But that's okay. Sometimes I feel like finding a silly workaround is just as, you know, effective and okay as doing it the, you know, I mean, who is to say that what is the right way to do things? But in this situation, I feel like this might just work for me. So I'm creating kind of like a sort of a pseudo plane here, just at the end of the cylinder. And then I want to do a sketch, create new sketch. And then I'm going to actually delete this cylinder, right? And then I'm going to do a centered diameter circle and try to match this situation here, right? And then let's see if this works. Just try to cut through here. Oh, that almost looks like it worked. What about this guy? Can we delete that? Is that possible, or is it going to start warping the model too much? See, I don't like the way that actually worked at all. Oh boy, how can we do this? Let's see, is this a plane enough for us to extrude it? Nope. I wonder if yeah, before we deleted these, I wonder if we can use maybe something here. Modify split body. Oh, maybe before we combine them. Ooh, there we go. So they're separate, right? And then modify split this body and use this as a splitting tool. Okay, we can also do combine, intersect, and then split, but let's just see what this looks like. It's probably not even going to do it. Or maybe it... Oh, there we go. Ha ha ha. There we go. We have done it, ladies and gentlemen. That's a funky way of doing it, but let's do another split body. It's a nice clean cutout. Split body. It's a split. Okay. And yeah, sweet. And we might actually even already have... What is this? What am I doing? Okay, well that's good, Spoopy. Okay, there we go, so we have that, and then, okay, that's fine, okay, don't need that, so we'll move these down here, do need that, what is that, what is this? Do need that, so we're gonna move that up here. Face. Okay. Not sure if we need that, to be honest. But you know what? Let's just keep it for now. Okay, so now we have these two, right? Now let's do modify split body this guy and then use interesting. Okay, so now we have to figure out a way to get this back thing off. Oh boy, okay, sure. Modify split body, this, and then use this. This might work. Let's get rid of this face for a second. Splitting tool. No, not that plane. Yes, this one. No, okay. Ooh, I have an idea. I have an idea. So what we can do is, yeah, okay, so we have all these splits, right? All these splits made. Now we can use these cut out eye holes that we made, right? Possibly create components out of them, right? No, we don't need to do that. Although, let's see if this works. Hold on, I have another idea. Let's get rid of that. Let's do modify. Ooh, do we need this? No, we don't need this. Okay. Split body according to splitting tool. No, it really doesn't like that curve. Okay, that's fine. In that case, let's see if we can, before we split anything, right? Let's copy this. Right, yeah, let's copy this. It's body 10. Okay, and then how do we do this? How did we make it? I always forget how to do this. It's not the most. Oh, let's see here. So we got this new body. Right, and now. Right, so now we have. Perfect. Okay, so this body we will combine with this and that. Boom, boom, right? There we go. And then this we can delete just like we did before. So now we have that. And now we can use this modify, right, modify combine with this and this, except we're going to do in this cut. This cuts, right? Yeah. Ah, there we go. Yay! Perfect. Okay. So that was a little bit of a mess there in the beginning and in the end with the first with the push pull stuff, and then at the end where we can do the combined stuff. But hey, a whole new mask in an hour is not too bad. Not too many stopping points. This bottom area is a little bit thicker, also than I would like. Might waste a little bit of material there. So that's something that I might actually. Let me get rid of this combination here. That's something that I might want to actually look at right away. Let me try to bring it down to there. I don't mind it being thick in certain areas, but after a certain point, you're just wasting material, especially if it's a mask like this. So, yeah. What happened here? What happened here? Finish form. There we go. Yep. Not too bad. Cool. So now we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's throw a little, throw a neat little fillet in there. There we go. Now another thing to consider is the fact that this, maybe get rid of some of that thickness up there too. Right up here. And then does he have a little, does he have little holes there? Looks like he has little holes up top, right? Looks like he's got little holes up there to put a strap, so that's something to consider possibly. I mean, hey, if it's in the image, you know, try to be as accurate as possible, at least for me. That's how I usually do things. So if he's got 2 holes up top, then that probably means that I'm going to make 2 holes on top as well. So let's do that. Let's see how we're going to do this. Just another offset plane. Just do a little mirror. There we go. And now just yank it through in traditional style, just like that. Actually, let's do it symmetric, just to make sure we catch the edge there. And boom, we have our holes. Yep. I'll probably make a version without the holes, maybe, possibly. I don't know. But, yeah, so let's see. Let's see what this looks like without all of these sketches in the way. Let's get this construction out of the way. Ooh, yeah, let's fillet these holes because we are nice. We are gentle people. We like fillets. We don't like rough edges. Yeah, there we go. Nice and smoothed out. There we go. Seems like there's enough material up there to hold the mask up, which is nice. Yeah. Seems like the chin. Ooh, the chin looks tiny little bit too pointy. IMO. Although, no, you know what? I had this thought before, and I think I'm just going to stick with the way it is because I think it looks pretty dang good. Alright, well, there you go. So that's a quick, nice little hour, 9 minutes. Not bad. Probably could have saved time if I hadn't tried that first method in the beginning. You know, but that's okay. That's part of the process for me, is just figuring out how I want to do it, and how I want to get it done. So, yeah, well, thanks for the other person who was watching me this whole time. And thanks to YouTube if somebody ends up watching this, and if this ends up being helpful for you, please drop a comment. See if maybe if you want to see something else 3D modeled, or if you want something specific made. My Etsy shop, it's etsy.com/shop/metaware. I'll put a link in the description. Or if you want to print something or model something yourself, and you just want to you don't have an idea of how to go about it, and you'd like a follow along, something like this, and you'd like to create a model of your very own and to modify it as you see fit and as you want the final result to be, but you just don't know how to quite get there to where you have a malleable, object or something in the shape, or roughly in the shape of what you want. Just shoot me a message, and I will happily do this again. I love 3D modeling, and I'm going to put out videos of basically me modeling stuff for myself and for my Etsy shop and various different things. But yeah, it's utilize that. It's a good learning tool. Following along is one of the most powerful learning tools I think there is. That's how I learned years ago, and that's how I still learn every time I don't know a new method, or if I see somebody who's much more experienced than me doing something. That's just how I absorb information. It's just so super helpful for me. So feel free to drop a comment or just message me directly, and I'll happily model whatever you guys want. Well, thanks for watching. Again, I'm Ilya Winter from Creative Indifferences, and stay creative.